Hi, I'm Dea.
Hi, I'm Reece, and we are
Literally dead. How's summer been treating you? Actually, no, we're pre-recording it.
Where's your energy? Where is your energy?
I don't know.
Let's go again.
Hi, I'm Dea.
Hi, I'm Reece, and we are
literally dead.
Oh.
Wow.
And we
Where's
are...
your energy?
And we are literally dead. I hope you guys are well at home. We're back with you in another episode. This time we are covering the 2020
I don't actually know.
Film slay.
I think it's 2024. It's recent.
We can't just say it's recent.
Yeah, we
That's
can.
so bad. Sorry, we watched a lot of films recently, so we're all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2024. Slay.
Slay. 2024.
Yeah, this is an interesting film. It's a queer film. It's a vampire film starring some familiar faces from RuPaul's Drag Race, both USA and UK, right?
Yeah, I had only watched I watched the first season of UK Drag Race, and then I just didn't bother with the rest of it, but I have seen most of the US Drag Race.
Fair. Do you want to give us a synopsis?
So I'm going to give you a spoiler-free synopsis. If you wish to watch the film, it's on Tubi for free. You don't even need an account. You can always come back, or you can stay with us. Due to a booking mistake, 4 drag queens end up performing for an unwelcoming crowd. When vampires attack, they look to the queens to save them.
Cute. And the queens are, in no particular order, Trinity the Tuck,
Cara Mel,
Heidi in Closet,
Crystal Method. Oh my god, why did we announce that like it was fucking sports ball?
Oh my god, we did! Oh.
Playing defense, we have Trinity the Tuck.
It felt like that. I hope you guys are home like drag queens.
You better do. What the fuck are you doing watching us if you don't like drag queens?
And if you don't, maybe you will after this, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe it'll give you pronouns.
The vibe of this film is kind of like From Dusk Till Dawn, which they do like name drop at some point in this film.
They do, yes. And
with less feet though.
By that point, more recently, it reminds me of Sinners, but obviously this predates that.
Yeah.
But for the same reasons that it is obviously very similar to Dusk Till Dawn.
It's just vampires in bars. Now there's like 3 films that have that. I wonder if there's more.
Yeah, but this time it's drag queens.
Drag queens!
So if you want Sinners but drag queens, here you go.
Do you watch any drag queen movies?
Yes and no.
Mm.
So like I've seen like, like Tu Wong Fu.
I love Tu Wong Fu.
Obviously there's Bianca Del Rio's wonderful movies.
Wonderful. I forgot that she made those, I watched them and I just completely forgot them.
Yeah.
There's Tu Wong Fu, there's Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. I watched that one recently. I hadn't seen that before a few weeks ago. It's really good. We watched Femme. Do you remember Femme?
Oh, Femme is good. If you guys have not seen Femme, please check out Femme. Femme was really good. So tense.
And I watched a movie that was similar to Femme recently called Unicorns.
Oh, yes. In fact, I was describing Femme to someone. Oh, no, I was describing Unicorns to someone and they thought it was Femme.
Oh, you've seen it too? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty good. They're very similar films, but they're both
Femme is great.
good.
We were so tense during that film. I remember.
And then a cat came to the window and we all jumped.
We got so... Yeah. It's not even it's more of a thriller drama.
Yeah.
More drama than thriller.
Mm.
If you're a queer person, it's very scary, especially if you've experienced queer dating. It's spooky. There was one point where all 4 of us were sat in a circle holding hands because it was that tense. How...
Crazy.
Yeah, I've never been so on edge during a film.
Mm.
So go watch Femme. Femme is really good.
Also watch Unicorns.
Yeah.
I think that one's good too.
Yeah.
And Tu Wong Fu, watch that one. And no, we'll get into this film though. It starts with a man pissing.
Yeah. Yeah, it starts with... Okay, we're going into the film now. It starts with a man pissing, specifically like a redneck, we can call him.
Yeah.
It's just a piss. Sorry, I was trying to describe the piss and I was like, it's just a piss.
He's not pissing for very long
It's an outdoor piss. He's in, a hayfield, just to clarify.
Yeah. It
seemed like a particularly normal flow. I wouldn't say extra heavy or that he was light.
So while he's pissing, there's something darting around. Let's just...
Yeah. You do get kind of look at it. It looks like a bold man in the field.
I described him as a boldy Nosferatu.
Yeah, I said Nosferatu too. Also, what I thought was interesting is, obviously going into this film, you understand there's going to be vampires. If you watch the trailer, you know there's going to be vampires.
It's also in the synopsis on Tubi and everything.
Exactly. You know there's going to be vampires. This opening is in daylight, and you see this Nosferatu vampire character that you're assuming is a vampire, and it's in complete daylight, which immediately kind of changes things for most vampire films. Not all, but most. You're instantly like, oh, that's different.
Yeah.
At least in my head. I don't know about you.
I mean, it was different, but also I just thought the mask and makeup kind of gave B-movie vibes. I was a bit distracted by that.
I do agree. Well, to be fair, I couldn't see it at this point because we didn't get close up yet.
We do in the first shot we do get close up.
No, I'm talking about when we first seen this Nosferatu.
Are you
behind
still
him.
on pissing?
Yes, I'm still on pissing. I will say, when I first saw the thing, I was a little like, wait, is this a drag queen out of drag? But it wasn't, you know what I mean? Because they're all bold. Why is it like all the best drag queens just end up being bold?
Well, it makes sense because it's easy to put wigs on, right?
Well, yeah, of course, but it doesn't, like, what's the correlation between them being so good, though?
Because they're dedicated to their craft.
All of my favourite drag queens are, like, bold or bolding. Is it the wigs? Are the wigs taking away their hair?
Maybe it's because they're like, oh, I have no hair, I have nothing to lose, so I'm going to put everything into this performance.
Well, this, Trixie Mattel drag, aka Nosferatu, essentially attacks this redneck, and he ends up, like, bleeding out on the floor. Cut to an RV driving down the road that almost knocks over this Nosferatu, but they swerve, not realizing what it is. In fact, one of them says, like, it's just some animal.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, it wasn't. And we find out that, like, our 4 drag queens are driving in this RV, and they're on some sort of...
No one knows their names. I'm sorry, we're just going to call them by their drag names.
Yeah, we're going to call them by their drag names. It was difficult to follow because we're so used to them as their drag personas. I mean, they're even credited as their drag personas.
Yeah. They're in this, like, RV, mobile home kind of thing. It gives the kind of vibe of, like, again, if you've seen Priscilla Queen of the Desert, like, I thought it was a reference to that, but maybe it wasn't. And they're driving towards, like, a show they're doing. They booked a show, and they're like, oh my god, it's a legendary venue.
Or have you seen AJ and the Queen?
Oh my god, yeah!
Let's not forget AJ, the legendary show, AJ. They also go on an RV road trip.
I forgot about that show.
To different drag bars.
What is up with famous drag queens making movies that nobody remembers?
I don't know. And why are they always getting in RVs? They don't have homes.
You kind of you get the personalities of the different, like, queens.
Yeah, they're very sibling-ish. They clearly have a mother who is
so
Trinity.
Trinity the mother.
Yeah.
Heidi's like the sweet one. Caramel's the new girl.
Well, Caramel's like the older sister.
Yeah, but she's new. We find out later she's new. Crystal Method.
It's not really relevant, though.
I think it is.
I don't think it is at all.
We'll get to that, I think, because I have...
But I think the fact that she's the older sister is very relevant. Because it's what affects the dynamic between her and Trinity, because it's very much that of the eldest daughter and a mother.
I didn't get that.
Really? When she's like, Mom, I want to spread my wings and have my own ideas. She's like, no, you follow my rules and do what I want to say. And the whole conclusion is literally like fucking turning red, where it's like, I see the potential in you. I shouldn't try to snuff you out with my rules, and I should let you fly the way that you want to and love my daughter the way that she is. And
I took it completely differently. But I'll get to my thoughts when it comes to that bit.
Okay, well, we'll get to that.
And Crystal Method is just dumb.
Yeah, she's just a dumb
Don't
baby.
clip that.
She's also sort of like the younger sister.
Yeah.
It's sort of implied.
She's not, like, paying attention to any of the conversations.
They very much have, like, a family dynamic.
Yeah.
Which I think is really sweet because it shows how close they all are. But also, obviously, it reflects, you know, the family dynamics of houses, you know, because obviously a drag house.
Yeah, they're homes and safe spaces for queens.
Yeah, and we find out that they're on their way to a legendary venue to do a very important gig.
Yeah. So we get some, like, sickening kind of, like, really cool pop art credits, I think, that are fun. And then they arrive at this place and it's called The Bold Buck. And then they have a whole argument about it. And then you can say the name now.
You can say it.
No, I don't want to say it.
I don't know what the name is. I didn't write that down.
The Bold Tuck is the...
Oh my god, that's
the fuck up.
so funny. Oh my god, wait, I should have wrote that down. That's the funniest joke in the whole thing.
Shut up. Who did this podcast, Mariella?
So they end up at the Bold Buck instead of the Bold Tuck, and they get mad at Heidi in Closet because she's the one who actually organized the thing.
Yeah.
Like, you picked the wrong fucking place. What have you done?
It's
right?
the grimiest dive bar you've ever seen. And it's, like, in the middle of nowhere.
And there's bikers outside with their bikes. It's very much like, oh, we're gonna die.
Yeah.
So they get out of this RV, obviously, because they're trying to make the best of a bad situation, also figure out what the hell's going on here. They walk past the bikers, and the bikers are being really homophobic. They're like, all that makeup's not fooling anybody, boo, boo, boo.
But then Caramel, she reads them to filth, because she's like, that beginner bike doesn't fool anyone either.
Yeah. She throws in a little bike knowledge. She refers to, like, the exhaust pipe or something. I don't know. I'm not a car person. But basically, she just outmanned him.
She outmanned him?
Yeah. Made him look dumb.
Which wasn't hard. But even his friend was laughing at her.
Well, I will say, Crystal Method, obviously, she's the baby of the group, but she's also the horny one, because she makes, like, 3 separate comments just walking from outside to inside to meeting the bartender about how hot the daddies are. She's just, like, thirsty for a dad. Like, she's just like, I hope she got quenched because she...
Can I say we also see a lot of Crystal's ass in this movie?
And I'm not complaining. Are you? Also, shout out to Crystal. I love Crystal. I think she was robbed, weirdly. We'll get to that another time. Unless you guys want to hear about it, let us know. We'll do a whole video on how she was robbed.
The real horror is Michelle Visage standards for drag.
The real horror is watching your favorite queen get robbed. Well, they speak to the bartender, and they realize. Well, the bartender tells them, and it seems very shifty when he says it. He says, "Oh, Mindy, my day manager must have booked you, and I didn't know."
So obvious it was him.
Yeah, because especially because they're like, "Oh, is she here?" And he's like, "Nah, she doesn't work right now." And they're like, "We're gonna go then." He's like, "No, stay. You're booked." And he even gives them the money. It's very clear that this man has booked them, but. You know, let him live his little dreams. They essentially take themselves aside, have a discussion. Crystal Method takes time to point out another daddy. But they're basically like, should we do the show or not?
And they're kind of set on leaving until the two town queer, the only gays in the village.
Yeah, two baby gays.
One AMAB and one AFAB, I guess.
Yeah.
They turn up and they're like, oh my god, we love you. We're so happy our town is finally getting a drag show. Yay, we can't wait to see you. And Caramel's like, fine, I didn't sign up to this to break little gay hearts.
Yeah, especially because they're the only two. They can clearly see what places they're in, and they've probably never had a drag show in their own town.
Yeah.
It was very sweet, actually.
It's nice. And they were like, all right, fine, we'll do it.
Also, I will say the AMAB queer was very cute. I thought he was hot. And so did Heidi in Closet, because she couldn't stop staring at him.
Have like a romance in the movie.
Yeah, but she couldn't stop looking. He had like constantly had this little like open part of his shirt at the top, and he had this like sexy little patch of chest hair, and I was just like, Heidi, I get it. Sorry, you weren't saying anything, and I was just rambling about. Cut this out! Oh my god.
No, we're gonna keep it all in. It's proof.
If you speak, I'll stop. And I just kept wishing he would like unbutton more buttons, and yet he didn't. He had just a very cute beard as well. I don't know. It was just like a very full patch, but actually I'm very curious about how it shapes on his chest.
Okay, and now we have a shitty green room. They try and smoke in there, but the sprinklers are super sensitive.
Oh, no, she tried to smoke.
Was you?
She pulls out an incense.
An incense? I thought it was a lighter. Oh my
no,
God,
she pulls out a lighter to light the incense. Because they say it stinks in there, and Heidi in Closet's like, I can fix that. And she fully just has an incense and an incense burner stick, whatever you call it.
Gay.
In her pocket. And she's like, yeah, of course. But she gets warned because the sprinklers are old and very sensitive, so like sprinklers will go off.
Yeah.
Which is done in such a way that you're like, that's going to be important later.
Yeah.
Very obviously.
Although I completely forgot about it. And Dusty, who is the bartender, he he's ogling at all of the like gowns and jewels and stuff. Like he's like lingering at the doorway, and she's like, until Trinity has to go, you can close that now.
Yeah, he's clearly like, there's a sparkle in his eye. You can see he either enjoys drag or, well, we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
I will say we do get a shot at this point of the pissy redneck vampire from the beginning. And he's outside of the joint now.
He's a piss boy.
Watching from across the street.
And now they're like getting ready for their show.
They're pretty much fully in drag. They're very pretty.
Yeah, they look good.
What did you think of their looks? Like they're like, because they all pretty much have one look for the whole film except for
Crystal
Method, who has like 3 different looks because she has to change every act, of course.
I liked Trinity's. I didn't like Heidi's as much. I didn't like Crystal Method's first look, but I liked her second and her third look. And Caramel's look I thought was pretty good, but like unremarkable.
Yeah, I thought Heidi's was distinctive, but I think she could have been nicer. I've seen her nicer. Well, it's not even like nice. It's just I would have liked it different. I liked Trinity's. I liked elements of every Crystal Method outfit, but then I hated elements of each one too.
Ah, okay.
And then Caramel, I hated it at first, but when she comes back later on, something was different about the wig. I don't know what it was. The first half of the film, I hated the wig, but something about the lighting right at the end of the film, I wanted to bite that wig.
You wanted to bite the wig?
Yeah, it looked tasty. She's very pretty. Anyway.
First you're talking about chest hair, I talk about wig hair. You just want to eat hair.
If you have hair, call me. I don't know, girl.
Look what he did to mine!
For the benefit of the listener.
Buzz cut.
Yeah, it's a buzz cut.
Buzz cut.
Yo, leave me alone. Can a bitch not like what she likes?
My beautiful mullet's gone.
Anyway, at this point, Caramel starts talking about how she wants to change the routine. She wants to do a solo. She's got these great ideas. But Trinity essentially just keeps saying, no changes, no changes. Remember what I said? No changes. So she just gets shut down completely. Yeah. Heidi goes off to the DJ to see what they can...
He's also like the lighting guy.
Yeah, he's the tech guy. to do the tech, and she's like, oh, we want to do this, we want to push forward, we want swinging lights, we want these colors.
We have the spotlight and we have this, and that's it.
He's like, we have a spotlight and it even moves if you push it.
Do you know what's funny is that, like, I'm glad that, like, he was kind of, like, begrudgingly helping at first, but then he kind of really gets into it once, like, everything...
once they start performing, he does really get... And can I just say, like I just said, like, he gets really into it. And it just feels like that thing. I think a lot of, like, heterosexual, or should I say even more so heteronormative people live such miserable lives, especially in these, like, heterosexual, heteronormative, toxic masculine environments where everything is a performance and no one's truly authentically enjoying anything. And I think as soon as they get a situation like this where they get to enjoy something authentically, they just completely come out of their shells. And I think drag queens are some people who do that because they do things that are absolutely ridiculous, that a lot of people like to make fun of. They think it's ridiculous. Some people think it's cringe, but they do it unapologetically. And being given permission to enjoy something to 100% without thinking that it's cringe or gay, I don't know. I think people really come out of their closet, and I just think that's something worth appreciating. Oh yeah, so they start the performance.
Yeah, they do WAP.
They do WAP, which is absolutely hilarious. The bartender is behind the bar watching them perform, and he starts doing little poses and kind of voguing. He's
totally eaten up.
Yeah, but specifically he's doing his own little vogue, so he clearly he wants to dance. He wants to be up on that stage.
Dusty loves it. Earl loves it. Yeah. The two queers love it. And even this woman she's kind of iconic the whole movie. Yeah. Her name is Sheila, and she loves it too. And she has this like baby voice and like leopard print tights, and she's awesome.
My favorite line from her comes right after this section of their performance, and she says, "I can barely walk around my pond in Crocs, and you're wearing heels higher than my bar tab."
She's truly an icon.
She's very cute.
Yeah.
But the only two people who aren't receiving this quite well
are the two bikers from the front of the bar.
Yeah, who I have
Travis and Fat Boy.
Yeah,
I remember that for some reason.
And Fat Boy is plus size for reference.
I'm not calling him fat as an insult. That is just what they call him.
Yeah, maybe he also had a name, but we missed it.
Maybe that was his name. Legal name. Ooh. Fat Boy Smith.
His parents were thinking.
Maybe he was a really big baby.
Well, Travis speaks up and starts cussing them out.
Yeah, this is after the WAP performance because Trinity's kind of doing like a comedy thing, I think.
Well, she's doing like crowd work.
Yeah.
But he starts like, cussing her out, and then she immediately starts reading him back, and she's like, I can do this all day. Yeah. Even Sheila chimes in and starts defending them. And the whole bar clearly is on the drag queen side at this point, which is great. You're like, oh, lovely. What a surprise, right?
They're like the queens. Piss Boy comes back.
Yeah.
He comes into the bar and he
approaches Fat Boy.
He approaches Fat Boy. Dusty gets in the way. He throws Dusty across the room and then just bites into Fat Boy's neck.
Yeah, and he specifically says to Fat Boy, he says, your high blood pressure smells delicious. He's also got like red eyes and like his teeth are bang, like obviously he's a vampire now, right?
Do you think that if you have high blood pressure it means your blood is like a rich food?
I don't know. I never thought about that as a vampire, like whose blood is nice and whose blood isn't, you know what I mean? Like, because especially in a lot of like vampire stories, you do have vampires like talking about how like, oh, their blood is foul, especially if the person's dead. Yeah. Like, oh, it's better fresh, and like that person's nicer. Usually like virgins taste better, right?
Yeah, because like they say in What We Do in the Shadows, you'd probably feel better about your sandwich if you know no one had fucked it.
Good to know. Christ. So they kick the redneck out. They're able to fight him off Fat Boy and throw him out. Which, again, this is a really interesting scene to me. Because for a vampire film, I think it's so cool to see the humans just already overpower the vampire.
Oh, fully. Everyone's fighting.
Yeah, like you just expect, like, in a vampire film, the vampires is like overpowering being with the strength of 10 men that just like obliterates everyone. Kind of like in Sinners.
They don't even register that he's a vampire.
No.
They just think he's crazy. And then they just like chuck him out the bar.
And they're like, go see a dentist.
Then they're like, Fat Boy, do you want to go get like a tetanus shot or something? You good?
And he's too proud.
He's like, nah, I'm good. I'm
like,
good.
Well, we can call it in like to the police. And he's like, nah, leave it.
I'm fine.
I'm a man.
Yeah. And then the drag queens have another debate on whether they should stay or leave. And they're like, well, we're kind of safer in the bar
than we are out there with the redneck.
Yeah.
Who just attacked people. Because he's still out there. He doesn't leave.
Yeah. And we have this moment because they're kind of taking a little breather. Trinity and Heidi are having a conversation, and Trinity's like, she's fighting me at every turn. Like, she's just like really difficult, and Heidi's like, yeah, but this is her first family, like she doesn't know how to like be around people and rely on others, which kind of implies that Caramel's been on her own for a long time, which is sad. Then Fat Boy starts biting people.
Fat Boy excuses himself to the bathroom.
Yeah. He goes to...
Where he looks himself in the mirror, he sees he has vampire teeth. And then a guy behind him comes out of the store and just goes on and on and on about how much his shit stinks. He has like 6 different comments about how bad his eye wouldn't go in there for a while. Ooh, seriously, that knocked the boots off a cowboy or whatever. He says funnier stuff than that, but I just can't remember. But he has like 6 different lines about how much his shit stinks. Crazy. Until eventually Fat Boy gets fed up and just bites into him. Which I was like, thank God. Like, if I had to hear any more about how smelly your shit, it felt fetish-like almost. Like he liked talking about it. Yeah. Fucking hell. Like, just do a PU. Yeah. Don't go in there. That's all we need.
Then they emerge from the bathroom. Fat Boy's like now fully like going crazy.
Yeah.
Caramel just punches him straight in the face.
She does. And then Fat Boy's friend,
Travis.
Yes, Travis gets up in Caramel's face and is like, don't touch him. And Caramel, like, she's in heels, so she's like a foot taller than him.
She like looms over him,
and he immediately like is like okay, and like bends down and like checks on his boy Fat Boy. But then Fat Boy tries to attack him, Loki.
Yeah, he just goes crazy. Everybody, like loads of people get bit because like there's so many characters that I just didn't realize were in the film or like extras in the background.
Yeah,
and then they get bit like later on, and you're like, were they there the whole time?
Yeah, and I will say this is a very goofy, silly film.
Yeah,
and he does that really well at times. And I just think if you're gonna have extras who like we literally don't even know are there,
yeah,
make it a joke.
Yeah,
you know, I just wish they did. Also, we missed a very important thing, that Fat Boy, when he enters this room, he gets lured in by Crystal Method's ass.
Does he?
Yeah, she's like swinging her ass on the stage and Fat Boy's like, give me. You forget that? You can start talking about it in a moment.
There was so many asses. There was so much Crystal Method ass.
This is our first Crystal Method ass. She's up on stage swinging that thing in a thong, and Fat Boy just... It was genuine.
Oh my god, yeah, now I remember because the song she chose was really bad.
Oh yeah, wasn't great, but the ass was great. The ass was great.
I'm not going to comment on your ass, Crystal Method.
Well, Fat Boy walked through a whole bar of people full of blood, and he wanted that ass.
Maybe she's got high blood pressure.
That ass gives me high blood pressure. Okay. Oh, we also find out at this point, because Fat Boy tries to bite his friend, that his friend says, Fat Boy, you're a vegetarian, what are you doing? Which I thought was such a like nice touch, that this like toxic masculine biker who was like super homophobic is just like low-key vegetarian.
But he mentions another dietary requirement, another point. He's like, oh yeah, he can't do gluten.
Yeah, he's gluten-free.
Poor Fat Boy, he's like a gluten-free vegetarian and now he's running around killing people.
Also, how are you a fucking gluten-free vegetarian and yet you're out here judging people for their life choices? Like, surely you know what oppression is like. You know what it's like to go around being ridiculed for who you are and what you do. Exactly.
You want to shove a whole broccoli in your mouth? That's fine, but some people want to do that with a dick.
Exactly. Right?
Yeah.
He's got his own personal belief system that other people disagree with, and he can't seem to... Oh,
I respect vegetarians, but I just don't agree with their lifestyle.
No. I respect vegans, though, because if you're going to do it, go all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if their chocolate is bad.
The chocolate sometimes.
It's too crumbly. I don't get it. It doesn't melt. Unless you like bake it. It doesn't melt in your mouth. Anyway. They have like this whole fight and then
the queen's trying to run outside, but the redneck vampire is out there. He hisses at them and they're like, back inside. Yeah. Very Scooby-Doo, very cute.
I think most of the vampires end up like, because they're having this big fight, right? So Trinity end up saving Dusty from some vampires, and then I didn't give Heidi's boy toy a name. I just called him Guy or boyfriend or boy toy at points. So there you go. Because I couldn't remember his name. He saves her and they like have like a little moment and they almost like, oh my god, you know?
Yeah. And we see the first vampire death.
Yes.
Where a vampire goes to attack the bartender. Trinity pushes him out of the way, and the vampire self-impales itself on a tap, like a bar tap.
Yeah.
It bursts into dust or glitter.
I thought it looked like glitter, yeah.
I thought it looked like glitter too.
Yeah.
But they call it dust. We're going to call it glitter.
Yeah. Because it's more gay.
He bursts into glitter and they realize, oh shit, these things can be killed, but also that's crazy, right? And then another vampire attacks them, but Caramel impales it through the heart. And that also turns into glitter. So
they kind of chase most of the vampires out or kill them. Although they only killed 2, I think. And they kind of close the doors and they're like, right, we need to call the police, right?
I would say my favourite line is here, and it's from, well, one of my favourite lines. It's from Heidi when she's getting attacked by a vampire. And she's like, I don't even taste good. Okay, that's not true, I do.
They're trying to call the police and they realise that, like, well, they say the line is down, but actually the vampire had crawled up onto the fucking, like, thing and pulled the phone lines down. So now there's no help coming until dawn.
At least they had power, though.
Oh my god, no, the baby.
They could have done like a classic power outage, but they didn't. Let me save the baby.
The baby fell. We saved the baby.
We saved the child today. Go out and save a child. Sorry. Just a PSA.
Save a child from being born. Close your legs.
Yeah. Also, wow. Whoa. But yeah, close your legs. We got enough kids in this world. And that's for the men and the women. It takes two to tangle. Or, just the penis havers and the vag havers.
If you don't have anything, you can just open all you want, I guess.
Yeah, if there's nothing down there.
May as well.
Air it out.
They had end up knocking out Fat Boy, and they're like, what do we do with him? And Travis insists they don't kill him, and there's like a gag where essentially they're like, oh, but he might be really dangerous, and then Caramel lifts up the like broken pool cue she's holding, and they're like, no. Yeah. And then they say something else, and then she lifts it up again.
She lifts, they're like, let's kill it, and then Travis says, no, I just can't kill him, and they all go, oh, and she puts down the weapon, and then he goes, he owes me money, and then they're like, oh.
Yeah. And they're like, well, maybe he'll wake up normal. So they put him in the freezer.
Yeah, and they lock him in. Which is smart, I guess. Because especially if this is like your friend. Like, you don't know. Maybe you'll find a cure. Maybe you'll... You never know,
I guess.
Maybe it's temporary.
Yeah.
I just feel like until you know the rules of what you're dealing with, you shouldn't start killing your friends.
Yeah, but randoms are fine.
Oh, yeah, of course. I don't give a fuck about you. I just want to know, I don't want to get all like... You have to kill me if I turn, okay?
Yeah.
You don't get like that until you know the rules.
Don't kill me if I turn. I'll be a vampire. That'll be fun. Finally catch up with One Piece.
You might be there when they finally find the One Piece.
Yeah!
The redneck vampires outside slashing tires.
Yeah, they're outside slashing tires, and they're having this debate, and they're like, right, Travis and a bunch of other like bikers, they just try and leave. They walk right out, and then there's like a really long shot of them all just watching carnage from like the doorway of the thing. They're like, someone got decapitated in slow motion, and then their like head like goes really slowly past like the door,
even though they're moving in normal time.
It's
a unique shot. I thought it was gaggy and goofy. I thought it was silly and fun.
I guess so. I didn't really find it that fun. I think it went on a little bit long for me.
I feel like it gives a good amount of time to realize that the people are moving in normal speed and it's just the head in slow motion.
Yeah.
Could be gaggy,
No, that specific part of the shot is fine. It's just like the entire shot lasts for too long, in my opinion.
Yeah. You don't like a slow-mo, though?
It depends. It has to be used well. And Travis just runs right back in. He's like, I guess I'm not going out again.
Well, no, but mind you, Travis led a brigade of men out there. They all died.
Apart
and then
from him.
He runs back in as if he wasn't the one that fucking told him to follow him.
Stupid.
What an arsehole. We don't stand Travis, okay?
No, we don't stand Travis.
Travis is a bitch.
That's actually what I wrote in my notes, is Travis being a bitch, leaves. And then another point, I wrote Travis bitch again.
Real bitch.
Oh my god, yeah, and there's a really good gag at this point where, they're watching them, and there's a vampire. We see a shot of the vampire, and he's got no teeth, but he grew fat.
Yeah, he was like a gummy, hilly, with no just crap.
That he'd clearly lost his teeth already, and then he became a vampire and he just got fat. Which, to be fair, I guess you don't need any other teeth if you're a vampire now, but still, it looks stupid.
It is crazy because it makes you think it doesn't just change your teeth, it creates wholly new teeth.
Does that mean your regular canines fall out?
Yeah. What an interesting spell. The way that different creatures work in films, whether it's a werewolf, a zombie, or a vampire, I think is always one of the most interesting things when you start a new film.
Yeah, the different canons and stuff.
Yeah, what's the rules of this one,
Yeah, definitely. That's also why 28 days later they are zombies. It's just different canon.
They are zombies. They're not. That's not a rainforest.
Yeah, I had to put it in. I'm sorry. They're kind of debating on what to do, and Trinity and Caramel go off to the side, and Caramel's like, why don't we just leave? We just take the truck and leave them.
She's like, our tires are slashed.
Yeah.
And she's like, but it's got to take us at least a little distance.
Yeah.
And it's not enough. The tire, it's a big RV, a lot of weight on flat tires.
And again, this is the point where I thought her kind of character arc was learning to kind of not assimilate, but be part of a family, and because she said, Heidi said before that Caramel this is her first family, right? And so she's not used to looking out for others in the same way she looks out for herself, and that's why I thought her arc was going, not the whole big sister mum thing.
No, I still see the big sister mum thing.
That's fair enough.
Because I just saw this as the big sister trying to say what she thinks is good, the way that she thinks she should go, and her mother being no, I'm right, you're wrong, you listen to me, your ideas are bad.
I thought it was someone...
Don't get me wrong, I think there's an element of what you said, 100%, I don't disagree with what you're saying. I think what you're saying is 100% true about learning to be a family player, etc. Because I think there's growth on both of their sides. But I definitely see that family dynamic being so strong.
Then they kind of, Travis has another bitch fit. He's like, the T words have come, and now they're turning everything into Transylvania.
Yeah. Mind you, while they're having this discussion, they're like, what do we know about vampires? They start collecting knowledge. And then someone says like, oh, they can't come inside unless welcomed. And that's when we realize there's a giant neon welcome sign right, above the door of the fucking bar.
Beer is cold. And Dusty's like, well, I didn't think there'd be vampires when I bought it.
Welcome. Come on in. The beer is cold. If I wasn't clear enough, you have express permission to come into this building.
Please enter this building now.
Pretty much. That's what it says.
Yeah.
So they're screwed. The vampires can get in whenever they want. So they start boarding up windows.
They start boarding up windows. They split into teams and they get weapons and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Trinity has like a pool cue which she like splits in half and makes sharp. Travis has a gun.
The little A5 baby queer grabs like forks, and that's like her thing the whole film.
She grabs one fork in the beginning and then it becomes her thing later on in the film.
Although Heidi and Closet's love interest, he grabs garlic bread.
Yeah, but that's kind of... It's smart.
It's ridiculous. And then Heidi starts like using it to stab, and she's like, maybe.
She's got like a frying pan and he gives her the garlic bread and she stabs him in the chest, like as a joke with it.
Yeah, she's like practicing. She's like, yeah, I see what you were thinking. Okay.
Was it frozen that bad? Like, damn.
No, you ever had like a really sharp like crust on like a fucking sourdough?
Yeah.
You're trying to eat like a sandwich from like one of them hipster cafes and it's just like cutting up your mouth. I've genuinely like cut my gums and the roof of my mouth on fucking sourdough crust. I fucking hate sourdough.
I like sourdough.
No, I'm sorry, bye.
But if it's a stale baguette, I have cut my mouth on that.
Have you never had like a hipster sourdough crust? It's impossible to get your teeth through.
Skill issue.
Nah, it's supposed to get... Okay, I've had nice sourdough, I'm gonna clarify. The actual doughy bit, the bread, fine, but the crust is always ridiculous and abusive.
Abusive?
Yeah.
The
so you know what?
crust is abusive.
I could see you killing a fucking vampire with that shit.
But it didn't look like sourdough. I don't think this place even knows what sourdough is. Like, this is the grimiest fucking dive bar I've ever seen. Even in films that are like realistic with their dive bar griminess, this is like... Ew.
No, this is very realistic. I feel like whenever you've been in a bar, you've been drunk, so I feel like your standards are a little all over the place. I think if you
I'm not going to a bar to be sober.
Yeah, I think you went to like the clubs you've been to sober. I think you see how disgusting they are. So a little heterosexual man bar out in the woods, it makes sense. It's just dirty. Oh my god, could you imagine going to a club? I want to go to all the club bathrooms I've ever been to sober.
I don't.
I just need to see.
I don't need to see. I don't want to know.
I had that morbid curiosity. I don't need a black light though.
I think it's best not to know some things.
Oh my god, speaking of, do you remember we bumped into a bag of chips in GAY?
Listen, I was trying to go to the loo and I didn't realise that the toilets were gender neutral there. So I was thinking, I'll just go to the women's. And then Bag of Chips says, no, you can't. You have to go in the back of the line. I was like, oh shit, sorry. That was also the day where I fell over and I got a big ass bruise on my leg and I was sober at that time.
You still when it happened?
I was sober when I literally walked 3 steps into the bar, fall the fuck over that step. And then I'm like, great, now everyone thinks I'm drunk.
How many drinks until you don't feel it anymore?
Oh, girl. I think I still have a scar. Like, it was bruised on my leg for so long. It was such a big bruise. It's, like, swelled up. Is it still there? Not anymore, I guess.
What a night to remember.
Yeah.
I think we were having like, vodka oranges.
Oh, I love a vodka orange.
Yeah. Anyway, that's our, like, drag queen experience.
I think that's the only famous person I've met is Bag of Chips, and they told me off. So there you go. They were out of drag, to be fair.
Yeah, they were, just to clarify. They weren't performing.
So, they split up and you get different, like, little interconnected scenes of them all, right? So, in one team, you got Crystal Method and the little... I'm going to call them them. I don't know. The AFAB one.
Yeah.
I don't know. They never specify. Which you shouldn't have to. And Caramel, who had to be convinced to go there because she was like, the babies are not going to survive. The children need you.
The kids need you to look after them.
Yeah.
She was like, fine, Mom.
So Caramel's like looking out the window, kind of being a bit more vigilant, whilst Crystal Method and the other person, they're just kind of vibing. They're like, let's just change outfits. Yes. Like, they would just not grasp the situation at all.
The little baby is like picking out outfits, making references that Crystal is not getting at all.
She's like, oh, Blade, or I don't remember what the other one they said is.
Something. I think that's when they say something of the Dawn of the Dead. Either way, we're basically Crystal Method right now. We didn't get the references. Clearly.
We got Blade.
Oh, of course, I love Blade.
Yeah.
But then she's like, that one. And Crystal's like, okay, yay, I know that one.
And then, like, giving each other makeovers and outfits
Yeah.
and stuff, whilst Caramel's, like, looking out the window, looking at the RV.
Holding her weapon, just, like,
oh my God.
ready.
Yeah. And then it comes to the basement where it's some, like, randoms, Travis and Trinity.
Yeah.
And there's a vampire in the basement. And there's a broken window. So in the basement, there used to be a bowling alley.
It's like 2 vampires, actually.
Oh, yeah, there is. It used to be a bowling alley. But because of some, like, structural issues, the ball keeps going left. So it's, like, been closed down. But they have a broken window.
Yeah.
And so that's how the vampires got in.
Well, they start boarding up the windows because they don't know the vampires are in yet until they do.
Until they do. Then it comes back to Caramel and she's like, I'm just going to go and get the van and I'll be back, right?
Yeah.
And so she just creeps out because there's no vampires out there. She just climbs through the window and just walks right to the van.
In the sparkliest outfit you've seen. And that's when the little baby is like, shouldn't she wear something less conspicuous?
Crystal's like, if heads aren't turning, what's the point? She's like, I don't think that applies in this situation.
And they shrug their shoulders and like, let's go back to like dressing up.
They're so dumb.
She goes into the mobile home. Then it cuts to Trinity, who's doing a bunch of fighting. She's kicking ass.
She uses a bowling ball to knock a vampire's teeth out.
Which is a very cool way to kill well, she kills him afterwards, but that's a very cool way to disable a vampire. Meanwhile, Caramel is in the RV now. She made it. And the redneck vampire from the beginning comes to the door and she says, you can't come in here. I don't give you permission.
And he's like, but I can get into a car, right?
And she's like, this is a mobile home. There is a bed. There is a bucket I piss in.
There is a kitchenette.
And he backs down.
He pouts. It's so funny. He's so fine.
Back to Trinity, who's doing crazy.
Yeah.
And she saves Travis.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the moment, I think, the first ping of him.
Yeah.
Realizing he needs to stop being such an asshole, or at least a ping of trust when she like saves him from the vampire.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, his like 2 buddies are dead.
But whilst this is all happening, a vampire just creeps through the window that Caramel used to get out. He uses that window to get in to the dressing room. And so Crystal and the baby, they run and they actually split up. The baby runs into a bathroom and
hides in a stall.
And Crystal, she gets into a vent. How the fuck she fit in there?
Well, it was a big vent opening. It was like it wasn't one in the ceiling. It was one of those vents that come down the wall.
I guess so. But you know,
it's important to just to say that this is a sexy mullet vampire. He was really hot.
And she's wearing like a latex like bodysuit, but her ass is out again.
Yeah, it's because she's got a little latex skirt.
Oh, she got a skirt? I thought it was a bodysuit.
No, it's a bodysuit and there was also a leather skirt.
Okay, but you don't see the skirt, you see ass mostly.
She refers to it as bondage, I think. Because she goes like, I shouldn't have wore bondage while she's crawling through the vent.
This is like all squelchy. Which is so funny.
But yeah, she's also wearing like, oh god.
Like fish
she's
nets.
dressed very sexy.
Yeah.
And her ass is out. She's crawling through the vent and you just get all these ass shots of her crawling through the vent and her like skirt like blowing up.
Yeah. Then it's Heidi and her boy toy and they almost kiss because they're in the back kitchen next to the back door. It's those two and Earl, the like DJ guy. What we didn't know was that Earl was actually bit and hiding it from everybody.
Yeah. He gets bit just now.
Yeah. We have this like romantic moment. They almost kiss, but then like they get interrupted.
But it's very cute though, because while they're flirting, Heidi in closet like tosses her hair behind her back with the garlic bread. It's, I don't know. I think it's a cute.
I didn't even notice that.
Oh yeah, she does. She's like, oh, thank you. Ooh, with the crust, she just like flips.
That wig is gonna stink.
Girl, you kept saying that this whole time. You were just like, everybody's gonna. Anytime garlic was involved, oh, they're gonna stink. Oh, their breast's gonna stink. Oh, everybody's gonna stink. And it's like, you hate garlic that much?
I love garlic, but it doesn't mean it don't stink.
I don't think it stinks. I think it smells good.
I love your cats. That don't mean they don't stink.
I love the smell of my cats. Okay.
Really? Should we open the door right now?
Not when they poop. Yeah, we can open the door. None of them have pooped.
Oh yeah. How do we know?
So a fight breaks out, obviously. As we said, our little DJ gets bit, but he hides it. And this is when we have a very fun kill where Heidi shoves the garlic bread into the vampire's mouth and it gets stuck in his... He deep throats the garlic bread. And it's stuck in there. And then he pulls it out and we think, oh, well, that was for nothing.
That was for nothing. But then he starts like coughing and like smoking from his mouth. And we're like, oh no. And then they use that opportunity to kill him.
Yeah, and they realize it was the garlic.
The garlic.
Oh, no, sorry. She
says a great line because she's like, oh my god, he was celiac.
And then her boy toy's like, I think it might have been the garlic.
It might have been the garlic.
She's like, oh.
Makes sense.
She's like, oh my god, he's celiac.
You know, this reminds me of a scene I wrote for one of a movie that my friend was going to make but never got made. And it's a silent scene shot in black and white about a vampire mourning their life. And the scene I wrote was someone sitting on a park bench with like a garlic bread.
Yeah.
And the vampire walks up behind them and sheds a single tear. I'm so sad that film never got made.
Oh my god, I remember which one you're talking about. After the garlic bread deep throat, we see a vampire outside who starts realizing that there's a vent on the outside.
Yeah.
And he climbs into the vent, which obviously immediately you're like, oh shit, he's about to bump into fucking Crystal Method.
We don't see it just
halfway through.
We don't just see it.
He climbs into the vent, but we already assume it. Come on, like terrifying. My heart was pounding.
We cut back to Sheila and Dusty. They have some randoms, but like they don't get names or like lines. But because we forgot they were there, and they're in the main like lobby with the like doors, and Sheila's like looking through this window essentially. She sees the like vampire is like harassing the RV where Caramel is, and she's like, "Can I have the gun?" Because she's really hungry, and she's like, "It was wing night." And she just shoots the vampire. She's a good shot as well. She shoots the vampire from like a far distance away.
He took my wings from me.
Yeah.
She did a good shot, yeah. But obviously it's a shotgun at a distance, so.
Yeah, she didn't get him in the heart, but still.
But he gets blood everywhere.
Fucking
and she gets to feel better about herself. Yeah. Which is what it was for. Also, he leaves the RV alone, which is the important thing.
Yeah.
Rising up. Oh, back on the street. To my time. To my chances. Right.
Next we get to I think this is one of my favorite scenes in the movie, where it's the they them lesbian. I don't know.
I've been calling them the they be.
The they be.
It's like a baby queer they be. Okay.
The they be. They're hiding a stall, and the vampire with the mullet that you thought was sexy is like kicking down doors. And so what they decide to do is they're crawling through the stalls, right? And then they lock the last one.
And he kicks the door, realizes this is locked. He starts trying to get through
He's trying to get through the door.
And at this point were like, well, crawl back.
And then they did. They were like, okay, let's crawl back. And then you see them, and then they get dragged right back into the stall.
Yeah.
They should have crawled faster, man.
But then, because obviously they have their trusty fork.
They
stab the fucking vampire in the eye and start freaking out like, ew, oh my god.
No, they don't go,
pull the fork.
They have like a hurt.
Well, it was ew, oh my god first. Then she pulls then they pull the fork out of the eye, and the eyeball comes out on the fork, and that's when it was.
And then like slowly pulling the eye off, and the vampire's just watching. And
as soon as the eye, half watching. As soon as the eye is off, they start stabbing it like over and over again until it dies, and then like, that was so badass. Why did no one see it? Which, yeah, fair enough. I will say,
if I had a badass moment like that, I would also be like, yeah.
It was cool, but every other scene after this point with that baby is insufferable.
Yeah.
They just become insufferable after this.
They become very obsessed with forks.
Oh, they gain the like personality of like an 11-year-old boy, and it's just grating.
Still, I like that scene a lot.
Oh yeah, that scene's great. I'm just saying that's the last good scene with their character.
Yeah. Then they kind of regroup, and they're like, where's like... So everyone comes back into like the main lobby area, and then they're like, where's Crystal? And the vent had kind of given out over the kitchen, so they fall into the kitchen, and they have a fight with this like vampire.
The vampire that was chasing her in the vents, which we didn't speak about. Can I just say, while the vampire was chasing her through the vents earlier, we were so worried the vampire would bite her ass, especially because Fat Boy was after her ass, and then she's like crawling away from the zombie, and the zombie's staring at her ass, which is like completely exposed, including her calves and stuff. But like, what was it about Crystal's ass that just seemed...
Was it in the contract that she was like, I really want to show off my ass, it looks really good right now, I would like it to be in at least like this many shots?
Just magnetic.
Yeah,
just
vampirically. Can you make the vampires magnetic. Really obsessed with my butt?
In fact, her ass was so much that it actually broke the vent. And as you said, she falls into the kitchen.
They have a fight.
Yeah, the vampire follows. Yeah. Meanwhile, like during the fight, Crystal starts throwing things at the vampire and just missing. She throws a plate, a frying pan, a mug, everything under the sun.
She does like a chopping board or something, like a wooden thing that actually hits him. And then he's like, oh, fuck this. And then he starts taking the fight seriously. Yeah, he's like, wow, you hit me with that, fuck you.
He was making fun of her.
And the vampire, this is the stupidest thing, right? I feel like it's like an unwritten rule that a vampire has to either use their fangs, magic, or claws, or like a really cool weapon. This vampire just grabs a fucking knife and stabs Crystal Method.
Which I loved.
I swear you didn't like it when we were watching it.
Oh, I was sad.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, but no, I loved the fact that they used a knife. I thought it was fucking hilarious. The fact that you're going up against a vampire and the vampire just shivs you. Are you kidding me? You just get shanked. Like, you're like, oh no, gotta protect myself from its fangs and its claws, and it just is like, what am I doing? Let me just stab the bitch. Which I think that the attitude that they portrayed here, that a vampire can just kill you like a human can, is important for what happens later on. But it's just hilarious. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I just found it
Do you not think it's important?
Important?
For later on when the vampires decide like, oh, we're not going to tell anyone, we're just going to kill people because it's fun.
I personally found it like, oh, that wasn't that cool. But it is kind of important later on. I concede to that.
But also, is it not hilarious? You get so many people who are bitten and then this one person just gets stabbed.
I don't know.
Also, like I said, like I didn't like it because I was sad, because it was unexpected, because she was doing a good job, again, keeping away from the teeth. And then you realize you weren't even thinking like, oh, the vampire could just like do other things to her. So when she ends up stabbed, it was really like, oh, it really took my sense of like, I know what to expect away from me, because it was like, and the vampires could do anything they want, because we speak about rules, and it was like, rule breaking I think is always terrifying, you know. We're like when you get a vampire that can't be killed by a cross and you're like, shit, what do we do, you know? Or a zombie that doesn't die when you blow its head off.
The fuck is a zombie with no head gonna do? Sorry.
What does a crawler do, girl?
The crawlers, they still bit people.
Yeah, but a zombie can still pull you apart. You don't think a zombie can dead snow you?
It depends on how strong the zombie is and what cannon we're using. The alpha cock zombie could.
The dead snow zombies can. They tear into people's stomachs.
But yeah, but
they
do die when they
Yeah, of course, but what I'm saying is they have the strength too.
They do.
See, I love this. We're like neckbeards, like arguing about. So when I was like, if a vampire bites a werewolf and then that werewolf dies and comes back undead, are they a zombie? Are they a werewolf or are they a vampire?
They're a were-vampire.
What about the zombie element?
Where's the zombie come in?
Because they died and came back.
Yeah, because they're a vampire. Vampires die and come back.
No. They were a werewolf bitten by a vampire.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were a werewolf vampire. Will you agree on that?
Yeah.
Then they died.
Yeah.
And rose from the dead.
But why did they rise from the dead?
See, that's it. See, here we go. This is where the conversation starts. Now, if I said a witch doctor brought them up to be their slave,
then there would be an undead servant zombie, as in Haitian folklore.
Exactly. But if I had said that they came back because they felt like it,
then they're just a bitch ghost.
I love being a neckbeard. Okay. Next.
Yes. So they're kind of. Trinity is crying because they find Crystal and they put her on the table and they're like, oh my god, we have to call an ambulance, we need help, right?
Yeah.
And this is when Caramel comes back and they have a blowout. They are really pissed off at each other because Trinity insists that if you had stayed and looked at that window, then Crystal would still be alive. Yeah. And Caramel's like, no, we would all die in here. My idea was right. I was right. You're not always right.
Yeah, if we had just left for the RV in the first place, or if we had never done this show, which she was the big main voice that said, let's not do the show, let's just go. Like, they've accidentally booked us.
She even lashes out at Heidi for booking it badly.
Yeah.
I was sorry.
I mean, all I've written here is that Caramel's a bitch. I thought it was so... Objectively, I think she was a bitch.
I think she was just incorrect because she was the one who was looking out the window for it.
See, I agree, but, like, she wasn't completely wrong, though. Because it is true, like, first of all, if they had just, like, turned around, it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah. But also, like, how can you say... Like, I guess, to be fair, they assumed that the vampires are all conjugate on this, like, this way, right? But if they had turned back, they would have gone straight back to the, like, vampire that killed the first guy.
We couldn't know.
They couldn't know
in the same
obviously.
Way that Trinity couldn't know that if Caramel was there, that, like, that Crystal would still be alive.
Yeah.
Maybe Caramel would have died instead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also, like... You can't give someone responsibility like that. At the end of the day, Crystal, like, as stupid as they are, is an adult.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's not Caramel's fault that like, she didn't survive. Like, she's supposed to put her life on the line for someone else, you know? So, like, she was completely, like... It was completely unnecessary what she did. And a lot of what she said was unfair. But not all of it was wrong. I
feel like her idea was kind of dumb, to be honest with you. You're not going to get that far in, like...
Oh, I think her idea was dumb, too.
Yeah. You're not going to get that far, one, on your own, because who's going to watch your back if you're, like, trying to open the car door? Or you need to change a tyre because all your tyres are flat or something, right?
Or, like, yeah.
Or you're fighting and someone comes up behind you. You're not going to get that far in the dark, in an RV, when there's way more vampires. They could just break it down, right?
Yeah.
As they do with loads of the windows in this film. I feel like she was just more insistent on being right than like actually.
I think she was just defensive. Her sister died and she felt really guilty.
Yeah.
And mind you, she does lash out, but Trinity lashes out at her first.
Yeah.
Trinity makes her, like, they're in this horrific situation and Trinity makes her feel guilty about what happened to Crystal. And she feels like super unfair. And I do think Trinity was being really unfair there.
But I do.
So, of course, she feels like she was being blamed for her sister's death. So she got super defensive. I think it was even less about wanting to be right, and it was more so about her defensiveness, and then also her frustration that she's voiced multiple times that day that she wanted to make these certain decisions that were shut down, some of which would have saved them. She didn't know vampires were coming, but if they had turned around and not done the show in the first place, they would be alive. Even after the first attack, when there is only one zombie that they were able to overpower, and she says, like, let's leave.
Yeah.
She refuses to. There were multiple points where she would have saved them if they had just chose what she said. Yes, she had dumb ideas, like trying to get into an RV with no tires that she couldn't drive. But she also had ideas that were shut down that would have just stopped this entire film from happening. Sorry, oh God, I have so much to say about her.
You were very defensive, like, huh?
Yeah, because but that's just true. That's the situation. I just think that it's like, it's more complicated than you think. She was an absolute bitch and she was incredibly unfair. But again, I don't think she's wrong. Because I just don't think she was. And also, of course you're going to be defensive. Like, someone just blamed you for killing another grown adult up against fucking vampires. Mind you, the baby's alive. She killed a fucking vampire. She survived. Is it her fault that Crystal couldn't defend herself?
Should have had a fork.
It's just, again, this is the mother-daughter part. Because as someone who is like, had this exact experience as being like an older sibling and being given responsibility over younger siblings and then making mistakes and then being held accountable for those siblings being that way, it pisses me off because yeah, sometimes it's like, oh, I should have been there, should have been watching, but at the same time, it's not my fault that your other kids misbehave or do really bad things or are really dumb or incapable of taking care of themselves, because I at that age could take care of myself.
I don't think you're talking about the film anymore.
But that's genuinely how I saw it, and I think that's exactly what she was going through. Like, you're blaming her for her death because she's incapable. It's not her fault. I guess she should have been there, but at the same time, like, it's not her responsibility. I guess if you knew she was that dumb, you should have stayed with her, which is what she said. Take her to the basement with you.
I absolutely think that Trinity should have been the one to stay in with Crystal and the baby. But I swear there's like some reason that she's not the one who does it. I can't remember what it is. Well,
she decides to go to the basement because nobody wants to go to the basement.
Yeah.
Because she's the grown-up, so she's like, I'm going to go to the most undesirable place.
Yeah, the most dangerous kind of place is perceived as. So.
But other than that, she just like sends the kids to the back room because it was perceived as the safest.
Yeah.
And sends Caramel to look after them. Yeah. This is tough. This is family politics right here.
I feel like you're projecting yourself a little onto these characters.
No, I think that I'm just seeing it as a family, whereas I think that you like are a little biased against Caramel.
I don't think I'm biased against Caramel. I think she was actually the best actress in this film. I don't think the other actors were good.
I think you're biased against the character, sorry, not the like actual actress.
Ah, okay.
I didn't at all mean the actual like a drag queen. I meant the character of Caramel. Sorry, I think her name is Olive.
I think that I may be biased against the character. I just don't think she maybe, because I liked the kind of arc that I thought that they were going on with it, but I think they could have done a little bit more with it. I think that it's kind of like slashers where they give characters like fake arcs that they can never fulfill, you know? But instead of them dying, it's just like the movie ends.
See, my arc did get fulfilled. The way I viewed it, this like whole family dynamic did get fulfilled and did like have an arc.
So they have an argument and Caramel, she decides to leave.
Yeah, she gets on her bike.
She finds a bike and she just leaves, and they watch her go.
To be fair, that's kind of cool that she cycles past the vampires
in heels.
I thought she was a bitch because she leaves the doors open when she leaves, but luckily the baby comes and closes them.
Yeah.
And then cut back inside and the mood is bleak. Everyone is like super depressed. And we noticed that the DJ has actually turned into a vampire now because obviously he's been hiding his bite. He goes over to the baby and he goes to bite them, but then stops himself and quickly runs into the bathroom.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Trinity is at the bar with the bar owner and he pulls her a shot and he admits that he's actually the one that booked them and that he used to do drag when he was a little boy, but he stopped after his father beat him.
Yeah. They kind of have this nice bonding moment because they're discussing like the kind of trauma of not being the way that you were, supposed to be and being stifled in that kind of way.
Yeah.
And then Travis comes over and he actually has a bit of development himself and he's just like, thank you for saving me earlier and, I don't think you guys are the ones who did the vampire.
He joins the pity party, basically.
Yeah.
He even gets his own shot glass.
He has his own shot glass. I don't think he tries to he doesn't dump any trauma on them.
No, of course, but they just look so mopey sat around this bar just like depressed. Everyone does.
Three old geezers.
Yeah. And we do get shots.
I think that's the first time anyone's described Trinity the Tuck as a geezer.
Which is something poetic about it. we do get shots to Fat Boy, who's woken up in the fridge. And he's banging on the door trying to escape.
Yeah.
So that's important.
It's also important to note that a few trucks have turned up full of like jock, like frat boys.
Who were there for wing night, I guess.
Hopefully. I don't know what. Maybe they're there for the drag.
Oh.
But they all get turned like in like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
This is while like Caramel
Which now
is
means
escaping.
that he has like a small army outside of the fucking shop.
Yeah.
That being Redneck. Again, Redneck is so funny. Like he really is a very similar character to like I think his name is Remick from Sinners, where he's just like the leader vampire, even though it doesn't seem like there's any magical reason why he is the leader, but we do see him outside at the head of them, giving them a speech.
I thought it was Fat Boy who was the leader, especially because he just turns the most people at the beginning.
No, it was the Redneck.
I don't really think they have a leader though, I guess.
Well, there is literally a shot where they're all in this huge group and he's the one person in front of the entire group cheering them on and giving them a speech about what they're going to do.
Yeah, because the others are extras. They don't want to pay them to be under
No,
fives.
he's so clearly... In fact, they even say he's got a whole army now. That's what they say.
Do they say that?
Yes, they do.
I don't remember them saying that.
Yes, they literally are during this pity party when they realize that, like, he's turned all those people outside. That's what they literally say. That's literally what they say.
Fat Boy breaks out of the fridge. The frat vampires are like trying to get in. Fat Boy kills some random. And while this is happening, Earl is just having a little snack in the bathroom. He's having a rat.
Yes, so he picks up a rat. Well, obviously, we saw him trying to bite the baby, but then turning himself off, and we realize that he's trying to control himself. He picks up this rat and he goes to bite it, and he stops himself, and he's able to control himself and not do it. But then ultimately, he does just gorge the thing.
Yeah, he just eats the rat.
But it was important because it shows that like he could control himself, which the other vampires couldn't, and he had a conscience about it, which is the most important thing.
Absolutely. And then, so as Fat Boy is trying to like attack people because he just killed some random, who else but Crystal Method gets up and like makes an entrance?
Yeah, she's rose from the dead.
Does she kill him here?
Yeah, she stomps her heel into his chest and like...
I think she kills the random, or does it Fat Boy she kills?
I think it might be Fat Boy.
She kills someone with her heel.
Yeah, she stakes him through the heart with a heel, which is like amazing. So cool. I was waiting for that to happen as well.
Honestly, because there was like a little foreshadowing in like a shot that they could have done it earlier, but she just didn't.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, it was also Crystal, right? And she put her heel through one of the vampire's cheek and ripped through his cheek, which was really gross.
It was cool though.
Yeah, obviously. Those things were sharp, as we see from her staking someone.
Must damage your floors. You're not getting your landlord deposit back.
Oh yeah, I've written it. She kills Fat Boy.
Oh, there you go. So then they're all like, oh my god, wait, Crystal, that means you must be a vampire, right? And she's just like, what?
And that's when we get flashback to when she was crawling through the vent.
And they had bit her leg.
Yeah, he
Would've
bites her
been funny if
thigh,
it
which
bit
was
her butt.
exposed, as you can remember from all our butt talk. And she actually became a vampire. But
Yeah.
she says they smell delicious. And they get really scared because they're like, oh, but you're a vampire, what's happening?
She's like, I'm not going to have blood. It's the same way I like my dick, with consent.
Yeah. She's like, I can control myself. I'm not like those animals out there.
Yeah. And then they're like, what do you mean? And then Earl comes out and he's like, obviously he's covered in blood now because he's like a vampire who just ate a rat. And he's like, no guys, it's true because I just ate a rat instead of a person.
And it was pretty good.
Yeah. And then Sheila.
She goes, guys. And we turn around to her and she's got vampire fangs. So we're like, when the fuck did that happen, bitch?
And it was when she was looking at the window, she was so bored. She had like a vampire just bit her and then she just like slaps it away.
She punches it away, but so casually. She's like, damn, nuts. And essentially they theorize that if you're an arsehole human, you're also a vampire. But if you're a pretty decent human, then you're just a fine vampire.
Yeah.
And it's not vampire urges that make them horrible people. It's just who they are.
It's just being a cunt.
They're just cunts, like, sort of like embiggered by like this magical strength, you know?
Yeah. They're now like preparing for like the final battle, right?
Yeah, the final act.
Because their vampires are drawing closer outside. They're like, right, we have to like get this done. We can hear them outside, and they're just gonna kill us all. They're not gonna tell us.
Crystal hears the leader, Redneck. She says that they got their feelings hurt with their first attempt.
Yeah.
And so they just wanted to punish everyone now. And so they were under strict rule not to turn anyone and just to kill them.
Yeah.
Which I think, again, is so fascinating for like a vampire film, I think. That it's not about collecting people. It's literally just about murder.
Gotta love a bit of murder. We get another outfit change as well.
Also, they have 3 vampires on their side now, so...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Crystal Mother has to have another outfit change.
She's like, I gotta change for the 3rd act.
And they're just like, what the fuck?
I loved it. Also, she needed to change. I was getting sick of that wig.
I kind of liked it because it's like bondagey, because then like the bubble braid kind of like anal beads.
Yeah, I know, but I just hate when they have like the slick back, so in this case a slick up.
Yeah.
It just always looks like a helmet.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Oh, and Travis is like, this isn't gonna give me pronouns, is it? They're like, I don't have pronouns or nothing, and like everyone has pronouns. Well, I don't.
Yeah, he says, not me.
Not me.
Which, if you get it, you get it. Oh, while they're getting prepared, the bar owner decides that he wants to get into drag.
He gets into drag too.
And he looks great.
Yeah, they make his beard ginger.
And then give him a ginger wig.
Yeah, but whilst this is all happening, Caramel, it cuts back to her, and she's actually having a fight right now against Bald Nosferatu.
Yes, she bumped into him on her bike. She was like biking through like fog. And do you think it's a reference to Dracula, the fact that there was like all that fog like while she was cycling, or do you think it was just like atmospheric?
Atmospheric.
You don't think at all that it was a reference?
I mean, I feel like all of their like references to vampires so far has been quite like
modern,
mainstream, and they've also just been verbal references. They've not done that much like symbolic references apart from like the blade jacket, you know?
Yeah, fair. Okay. But anyway, the point is she's having a final showdown with Nosferatu. She throws out very funny, quippy insults.
Yeah.
She's holding her own. It's quite cool. Also, it's a very curious creature because its face is more bat-like than the other vampires who obviously look just like humans with fangs. I do wonder, is it like a different creature? Is this like an original monster, or is this what they eventually become if they're vampires for long enough, you know?
You're gonna need a lot of makeup to be a drag queen with that face.
You could do something. I've seen some transformations. That's what I'll say. She defeats Nosferatu
with the hairpin that Trinity gave her earlier.
Yeah, with her mother's hairpin.
Her special hairpin.
Back at the bar, they're doing a huge battle.
Yeah.
And they have 3 vampires on their side, obviously. Crystal, Sheila, and Eric, is it?
Earl.
Oh, sorry, the DJ. Earl dies very quickly.
Yeah.
Protecting someone else.
Yeah.
He gets staked to the heart. And then Sheila goes and protects the baby who is being attacked by a vampire.
Yep.
And Sheila stakes another vampire, but that vampire stakes her at the same time.
And then, like, oh my god, no, not Sheila. I was like, my queen, no! But no, the vampire stabs her in the titty, and she pulls the knife out, and the implant comes out with it.
Her implant's gone.
I gotta get me a new titty, she says later on. So she Oh, I love her so much. I'm so glad she didn't die.
The battle continues. It's quite crazy.
Yeah.
But they get overwhelmed and they can't do anything. They end up like huddled into a corner essentially by the redneck and his like gang. And that's when Caramel
she comes in,
returns,
and she's just like, I'll handle this. And she steps onto the stage and she lights like a can of like hairspray to make the sprinklers go off.
And she has her little moment.
And she's like, her arms are in the air, and she's like, yeah.
And everyone's looking like, you look good, but
like, what's going on?
What's this going to do? But then the vampires who are getting covered in the water start to burn.
Yeah.
And then we realize, and we get like a little flashback, that she put garlic into the water system.
Yeah.
So that and she goes, garlic water, bitch. And then while they're all burning, everyone runs in and finishes them off, giving them stabs and shines.
And this is when I said, oh, everyone's going to stink after this.
And they basically win. And then things wrap up really quickly.
Heidi's like, oh, we're going to make our way back this way as well so we can see each other there.
Yeah, I like they open up the front doors and the sun is now up.
Yeah.
And Crystal Method starts sparkling in the light. Yeah. And that's when they turn to him like, Twilight was right.
Twilight was right. And she's like, no, I put glitter foundation on.
She looked great. It was pretty funny. It was great. It was a very sweet goodbye. It was nice vibes. Sheila comes out eating one of like the dead corpse hands, and she's like,
I got takeout.
Yeah, and the baby's like, oh, we just reuse, recycle.
I love that you're environmentally friendly, girl.
And the bar owner, who's now in drag, is like, he's gonna turn his venue into like a queer safe space.
Hell yeah.
An alphabet mafia fucking safe haven. So queer to make his father's turn in his grave.
Hell yeah.
So cute.
And Trinity and Caramel make up. They kind of did when they stabbed the final vampire together, but like they're fully made up now.
Yeah.
And then they get on the road again.
And Trinity says to her, you know what? I recognize your potential, and I want you to choreograph from now on. Yeah. And I want to hear a lot more from you, and I'm sorry for shutting you down. And it's just very sweet. I don't know. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. On to reviews. You first, actually.
Okay. I thought it was fun. I thought the gore was okay. The acting was kind of hit or miss. There are some actors that are quite good, and then there are other actors that are not very good. I'm not gonna lie, I think that like Trinity and Heidi, they probably couldn't play anyone but themselves. But some of them are quite good. I think Caramel is probably the best actor out of the drag queens, and I liked Sheila. She was slay. I think that there were points where it was a bit by the numbers, a bit predictable. So I wouldn't say it's like, you know what I mean. It's not like a movie you have to turn your phone off for. I had a good time though. Like I could definitely like stick it on with friends, or you know, it's like, you know, you need a horror comfort movie, then that would be great for it. But I don't really think I'll be thinking about this movie like all the time. Like it's not gonna knock 2-1 off my like favorite drag queen films.
Would you give it out of 5?
I give it a 3 with a heart.
Oh, I gave it a 3 out of 5 too.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a classic horror comedy. I think it had a lot of gaggy goodness, which is what you want. I think
it's very quotable.
Very quotable. I think at times it was like you didn't need that many jokes. Like there were some jokes I would have cut. There were jokes that were a little too obvious or over-explained. But there's a lot I think they got right about a horror comedy.
Do you know what I think would make this film better? More like visual gags. Because they do that really well, but a lot of their humor is just like drag queens reading people.
Yeah.
And that can get kind of old. But like, I think that if they had more like visual gags, kind of like, you know, like kind of like an old-timey, a little slapstick, but not too much, then I think that would have really elevated this film.
I agree. And there's a good few jokes I would have taken out, and I would have loved to replace them with like some more physical gags. Yeah, but I think it was a fun time. I would show it to people. Like I'd put it on like at like a group viewing and be like, oh, we can have a fun time watching this. I think that visually there was a lot of really great stuff, and it was just, it felt classic, but it was fun, it was campy, it was different. But like you said, like it wasn't profound. I think the characters were very shallow.
Yeah. Regardless
of performances. I agree with what you said about the performances, so I won't speak on that, but the characters themselves felt very shallow. They had like some kind of relationship stuff, specifically between Caramel and Trinity, and maybe it's a little unfair on the other drag queens because Caramel had the most potential for acting because they kind of had an arc. They kind of
push her to the side, especially in the like last half.
See, I agree, but that's so she can have her hero's return.
I know.
But what I'm saying is she just had the most potential for it, whereas the other characters, like I mean, Crystal's character was just you all you care about is outfits and you're kind of stupid and dick. And that's like her whole character. Whereas Caramel actually had the potential for like wants and needs and like challenges. So maybe it is a little unfair on the others. But yeah, she did, have the best performance. But the characters are very shallow. I feel like I didn't know much about where they came from, what was at stake, like who they are as people beyond like their drag personas. Those are all things that could be improved. But you're there for a good time.
Yeah, it's a decent movie.
A profound time. And so I would definitely like say like go watch it if you just want a really silly like goofy comedy.
If you don't want to think for a little while, you don't have to.
Yeah, and you just want to giggle.
Yeah.
Well, let us know what you think if you watch the film.
Let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
What's your favorite drag queen movie?
Ooh, what's your favorite drag queen movie? And do you have any recommendations at that?
Absolutely.
Because there's definitely more I could see.
Yeah. Are there any more drag queen horror movies that we should watch? Like, let us know. Because I'd love to see more drag queen horror movies.
100%. Especially to see maybe even a serious one. A non-comedy drag queen horror. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. Well, we'll see you in the next episode.
Yes.
Thank you for watching. Please check us out on Instagram or TikTok. We're available wherever you get your podcasts. And if you're listening and you want to know what we look like, check out our YouTube. Yes. Subscribe.
Like, subscribe, rate our podcast.
Yeah.
If you're watching on YouTube, do check out the links in the description.
That's all.
Bye.
Bye.